And we are back, and we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and of course it helps you because it helps us. Now, y'all, I think what the world is starting to understand is that your girl, you see her on the screen, right? Don't you see her? AOC. She is gearing up for a presidential run, and I think most of us would say two things. One, I think the first thing is like, nobody would vote for AOC. Come on. That's crazy. But then the second thing is like, ooh, what if they do? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of scary. You know, I'm searching myself. I did some soul searching before I started this video. And I said, okay, what's scary? Not scary, y'all. I shouldn't even use that word because I'm not scared of AOC. But what is concerning, I should say? What would be concerning about an AOC presidency? And y'all know I came up with this. So for anybody who really rock with me, y'all gonna understand this. Last week and this week, I was in Florida last week. Y'all heard me. I was on the road. I was making 2 videos a day, even though I was supposedly on vacation. Well, right now, okay, I also am on something of a different vacation. My wife made me go on 2 vacations, and I gotta do 2 videos a day plus 2 workouts. I'm talking about 2 times in the gym or 2 times working out every day. And you know what I realized about AOC, people? And you know why I say it's concerning? Because AOC wants to take the part that is generated whenever y'all watch these videos, whenever you like, whenever you share, whenever you comment. That's a hopefully some kind of representation of how you like the video. She wants to take a percentage of that and give it to the people whose videos you're not liking. You see what I'm saying? Like, maybe you like my video, maybe this video doesn't do as well as other videos, but if you take it as a sum total, she wants to say, oh, you did really well on your videos, you made money. But that guy over there, he didn't do so well. That girl over there, she didn't do so well. That they, them, there over there didn't do so well. So let's take some of what you got and give it to that person. And that's the first concerning thing. But I thought, you know, but I work out twice a day too. So what if I'm like in good shape? She can't take my muscle, can she? She can't take my endurance. She can't take my stamina. But the concerning thing about people is they want to take the things that you earn with hard work and then give it to the people who don't have it. So the concerning part is like, yo, if she could, she would take a little bit of my muscle and give it to the person who doesn't have it. She would take a little bit of my cardio that I'm building up with months and years of never missing a workout and give it to the person who didn't work out at all, or who tried and failed, or whose genetics just weren't as good as mine. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you put it in terms of physical, you start saying, oh, that's ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous when it comes, in my opinion anyway, when it comes to what you earn financially. That's why I can't support a person like her. But many people do. Many people do. And as you will see in today's video, she's gearing up for a presidential run. I think it's going to end in abject failure, y'all. I don't think even her own party's going to... I don't think her party's going to party with her ideas. But we have to be aware of this. I would say of everybody, she's like the #1 who I don't want to see get ahead. Because it's all about taking from the people who were successful and giving to the people who weren't. We can talk about why people weren't successful. I know there are reasons, you know, that's a whole different conversation, but I'm not with that. So anywho, y'all, let's go ahead and get into today's video.
Well, it looks like New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could be gearing up to be the new face of the Democratic Party. The self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist has been drawing tens of thousands to her rallies, pretty big crowds. She's breaking her own fundraising records, and she's surging in polls among Democrats. Now, some are wondering if her latest post is a, quote, soft launch for a presidential run in 2028.
To be welcomed here in this state, all of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one. And from the waitress who is now speaking to you today from this podium, I can tell you, impossible is nothing. Miracles start with mustard seeds. And that is what each and every one of you represent today.
Kennedy, that looks like a launch to me. And let me start with just her role in the Democratic Party. So aside from her general approvals in the population, 61%, according to YouGov, of Democrats view her favorably. This means she has the highest favorability of any Democrat who has not run for president. A Yale University survey found her at #2 in a hypothetical matchup in a Democratic primary. So she's no one to scoff at. She's certainly someone who could potentially win a nomination.
Yes, so here's what happened. The 4 years of the Biden administration created a power vacuum because you had a president who wasn't really leading. You also had an administration that didn't have very solid ideas for the Democrat Party. People felt like the party had moved away from them and was being run by old snobs. So when that power vacuum was created, they didn't come up with great ideas in order to defeat Trump and look into the future, but the socialists have been doing that the entire time. So their agenda is based on statism, making government bigger and more oppressive, but also populism. And that's where Democrats ceded the most support to the Republican Party, to President Trump, and to Vice President Vance. So AOC has put herself in the position to fill up that vacuum, and she's doing that with name recognition, social media. But Tomi Lahren made the best point. I think it was about a week ago, and I'm going to let her go off on this because it changed my mind about AOC, because I was like, well, maybe she is a big threat. She's certainly a big threat to economic freedom, but Tomi sort of laid it all out why she could face such a challenge if she's actually faced with other presidential candidates.
Well, you teed Tomi up perfectly to make that case.
Yeah, so my question last week, and I have the same question, is can we imagine AOC in a debate situation? And I'm not even talking about a presidential debate between a Republican candidate and AOC. I'm talking about a primary. I'm talking about, can she hold her own when actually challenged about policy positions? Even what are her own policy positions? And if you look at her policy positions, if she were to go on stage and talk about those, she might still be able to get a crowd. But could she even get Democrats on her side? Because Democrats are saying, we want you to moderate. And she is the most extreme. The Green New Deal, universal health care, wide open borders, lawlessness, cashless bail, those are all AOC policy positions that she's never actually articulated well, by the way. You can go on stage and talk about a mustard seed, and you can talk about, we don't separate between this. That sounds great if you were a rock star or a motivational speaker. Her policy positions are not popular within her own party. I don't even think she could unseat Chuck Schumer. And I certainly don't think she could be the Democrat nominee. We got Joe Biden in 2020 because he was the most moderate on that stage, not because he was some shining star. So the Democrat Party would be well to understand that. Influencer culture does not translate to a general election.
But AOC is not the only person who would like to take what you earned with your hard work, with your sacrifice, with the risks that you ran in order to get ahead, and give it to other people who were not. Look, y'all, sometimes you just have bad luck. There are people who have bad luck, right? Like people who are good, people, smart, talented, hard workers, and they just have bad luck. You know what I mean? So I'm certainly not throwing anybody under the bus, right? So let's keep that real. But other people don't have the bad luck, or they overcome the bad luck. So she's not the only person who would like to take yours and then give it to somebody else. Your girl Stacey Abrams would like to do the same, right? And she's running, maybe gonna be running for the third time in the state of Georgia to take, if you're in Georgia, she wants to take yours and give it to other people. And you might have said, first time, whoo, she didn't win. Second time, whoo, she didn't win. Then they gave her $2 billion and Trump came in like, let's get the $2 billion back. You like, woo, she's not gonna have that $2 billion. But now it looks like she might be about to run for a third time. What if the third time's the charm, y'all? She gets in there, she starts yanking whatever you got with hard work and giving it to other people.
Chance to talk about Stacey Abrams, because there's talk that she may throw her hat in the ring for the gubernatorial contest in the state of Georgia one more time. Here's what Cody Hall, who's an advisor to the current Governor Brian Kemp, said about that. Every Georgia Democrat is scared to death that Abrams runs again because they know they can't beat her in the primary, but she's also probably their worst candidate in the general. So what do you think, Jessica? Is third time the charm, or 3 times a loser, 3 strikes you're out? I mean,
3 strikes you're out for Stacey Abrams. Honestly, my first question is, how is she going to pay for this campaign? She's under investigations all over the place.
Well, there's all that money for the EPA right now.
That's right. She's under investigation. DOJ has just identified waste, fraud, and abuse out of her organization in Georgia, and so she's going to have a financial problem, which means she's going to have to go to in-state and national Democratic donors to get them excited about her running for a 3rd time in Georgia. Georgia is going to be the focus of all of our minds in 2026. You have a Senate race, you have a governor's race, and her getting in, I think, actually helps Republicans in the long haul, because we all remember what she did in 2020, in 2022, and if she goes again, we're going to fight it.
Real quick final word to you, Dan. Are you looking forward to her running?
Stacey Abrams should get a lot of credit for building the infrastructure that put Georgia on the map for Democrats several cycles early, but she should not run.
Right.
So we're agreed.
There you go. Nice to end the week on agreement. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
So, y'all, I know by now, I think I'm starting to get a sense for the fact that most of y'all are probably going to agree with this, but let's say you don't, because I like to hear contrary opinions, right? Tell me why, somebody, at least one person, tell me why we should give everything to AOC as president so that she can redistribute it to the people she thinks should have it. There must be one person at least watching this video who has that opinion. Let me know in the comments. But, you know, don't just give me one line or two, like really make the case. Because for me, I'm like, yo, I have to go to the gym. I got my muscles. I mean, I have a little bit of muscles, right? I have a little something. I got my endurance, right? I got my stamina, right? I got my cardio, right? How come if you think AOC should get my stuff to give it to somebody else, should she get my muscles too? Should she be able to get 50% of that to redistribute it to people who went to the gym and then had bad luck in the gym? I don't know, y'all. I'm on a rant a little bit right now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, people. You know, I'm not gonna belabor the point. I think y'all see where I'm coming from. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for watching today. Drop a comment down below, but before you do, please hit the share button. Please share this video out through email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all the social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. I want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.